Cool.
We've been digging it for a lot longer.
We're ready to go, guys. Ready? You are.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Ryan, are you okay?
Good. First of all, this is a big day for you guys. You've done a lot of big things, a lot of big accomplishments. Is this kind of thing where streets are closed and you're getting national attention for something like this still excites you guys? Is this a big deal? Does it resonate with the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited, but it's also the first time we've played live for a few years, so it's we're very nervous as well. So, but I'm sure it's going to be good.
Are there really nerves at this point? Are you going? Is it all good? How many? A couple hours now. You're playing for thousands of people. The streets closed down.
Can you not talk about that, please?
Yeah, I sort of saved mine up for about like 20 minutes before, and then it all comes out.
And then when you hit the stage, though, what goes through there?
It's like riding a bike.
But it's nice because
Which I can't do.
We've been rehearsing for the last 6 weeks, so it's actually really what we've been rehearsing for. So it's exciting because of that.
It's a bit of a tease as well because on the actual show when we were first approached to do this, we were a bit sceptical about the whole thing, just doing sort of live TV anyway. We're not, over the years, even though we've been doing this for almost 30 years, we haven't actually done that much kind of like TV and stuff. We've always kept like under the radar a little bit, and we like it like that. And so, it took a little while to persuade us to do this, and then, it went into this whole doing it on Hollywood Boulevard thing, and then of course the local radio station K-Rock got behind it, and a lot of people started to get very interested. So I think there might be quite a turnout tonight.
And all that's because you have exciting new music. This wouldn't be happening otherwise. Just talk about how proud you guys are of the new tunes and bringing the new tunes to the people. Because it's like you said, like riding a bike, but it's riding a bike a whole new way with new music.
Well, yeah, you kind of when you start working on a new record, it's first of all, we've always been the kind of band that we get a bunch of songs together and go into the studio with songs. A lot of bands don't actually do that. They go into the studio with sort of ideas, but we go in with songs written, and it's become over the years like different kind of lucky to be able to work with different kind of people. The last 2 albums being produced by Ben Hillier. He sort of has really kind of brought something fresh, I think, to what we do, and excitement, in the studio. He's very, what should we say, like, leads the pack, let's say. He likes to lead the pack.
Yeah, he has his nickname, Benny Fresh.
Benny Fresh, he's got a kind of bit of a hip-hop flavour as well. He's very driven, and we need that. We need somebody that's going to crack the whip, and also kind of know where they're going with something, and so he really did a great job on this record. The whole team that worked on the record was great.
But after almost 30 years, as you say, to have do you need someone like that to kind of keep the band really, to make another record? Would it not happen otherwise?
Yeah, it wouldn't happen otherwise.
It's pretty cool now though, because we've been sort of locked in the studio for quite a while, most of last year, and actually now to come into the live arena, it's also very important to our career. So. And also, playing as you said, the new songs is really exciting, and seeing how they go down.
Mm-hmm. You said live arena, that's like literal and figurative, right? Because you're playing arenas, you're doing this huge tour again. You guys, even with the great new album, don't have to do the world tour again and play all over the world and kind of be on this.
Well, we are lucky, one of the few bands who are popular everywhere, all over the world, and yeah, I mean we've always done that, and we've always toured, and it's been very important, and it's why there's so many fans out there to buy the new record every time. So it's as important as the records, and we do go and try and play concerts in front of people that buy our records.
I mean, it's where what you do in the studio is where you take it to the next step. You take it to the next level. It's like another part of what a band does, and certainly what we do. I mean, we were playing, especially in America, we were playing to more people than we were ever selling records for many years, because we created a following. We created like almost a cult following before we even sold, a lot of records. And, that's sort of unusual, but I think it gave us, a real footing for, and to be one of the reasons why we're still doing what we do, because, we have a very strong fan base.
If it was just that following, the cult following, you guys wouldn't be where you are today. Talk about bringing in new fans with every album, with every tour. Why do you think that is? Beyond just great music, there's something about you guys that keeps bringing people to Depeche Mode.
Yeah, it's really difficult to say why, but we are always amazed. You know, when we get out and play live, you look into the first few rows, and it's, you know, it's young kids. It's like 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and you know, I think that's, you know, in some ways, it's one of the things that keeps us going, knowing that we can still attract a younger audience, and we're not just playing to people who want to hear, you know, songs that we put out 20 years ago. People are actually interested in what we're doing today.
I think it's about, you know, trying to sound, you know, perhaps I think even naturally, you know, very relevant, you know, with each record.
How much of that is effortless? How much of you guys are saying, hey, we got to do something fresh and new, original to stay relevant?
Each record that we make, you know, we never plan beyond the album that we're working on. We never plan beyond the tour that we're doing. You know, we just kind of, each piece of work represents that time, and that's the way we do it. And you know, I think when we go into the studio, it's always there that what we're doing. It's not about like looking back and trying to, you know, recreate something old. It's about doing something that feels fresh. And I think, you know, there's a certain quality to what we do. I mean, Martin's written all these great songs all these years, and you know, I've sung a lot of them, and there's a definite sound to Depeche records. You know, it's no matter kind of who we work with, there is a, you know, we have a sound, and you know, I think we have to make it interesting for ourselves. And if it's interesting for us in the studio, and then if we're having fun doing it, it's more than likely going to, you know, be interesting to people that are listening. You know, you know, you make records for yourself, and you know, you make music for yourself, and then hopefully, you know, people will like it.
What does it say then about Depeche Mode right now to have this new album out, in terms of how proud you are of these songs? How does it make you feel about what Depeche Mode kind of means to you guys now?
Well, we've come a long way. You know, we've together. You know, it's been many years, and it's weird when we come somewhere like this. I always, you know, memories of coming in for the first time, and you know, playing some of the sort of biggest gigs we'd ever played before, like Irvine Meadows and stuff like that, and also playing some of the smallest gigs we ever played, like the Roxy, you know, but being really explosive, fantastic gigs, and sort of, you know, changed the course of what we were doing, you know, many times. And then, of course, you know, the Rose Bowl that we played here, you know, was a huge step for us again.
Some silliness now, so you talk about all this time, just looking at the three of you guys still look great. It looks like
Thanks.
So much how much fun is still the look of Depeche Mode? You guys are always some of the coolest guys in pop music. How much of that is still fun for you guys to get the clothes and have the Depeche Mode look and do your thing?
I don't know if we have a look, really.
I don't think we're that cool.
Are we allowed to tell them about the uniforms?
Yeah. We go there. No, don't go there, Mark. Yeah, no, we just do our own thing, really. We don't sit down and say, hey, you know, let's adopt a look that we can all wear and be unified. I think at some point, years and years ago, we found that black kind of worked, you know. So.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, we really didn't talk about it.
Speaking of black, though, I just love this whole, you know, it's always been something with you guys to kind of the mix of the darkness and the light, and so much has been said over the years, and through so many records, so many songs. And then you get a song that's light and beautiful and poppy, and then you go and see the video for Wrong. It's about as dark and freaky as you want to get in a video in a lot of ways. Just talk about kind of that darkness still that kind of bubbles up with Depeche Mode. It hasn't left you guys.
Oh, it's fun to play with that stuff, you know, and there's all that kind of imagery is, you know, I think is fun as a contrast to sometimes what's actually underlying in the music. You know, pop music is a way that you can actually play with imagery and sound and stuff as well, and you know, I think it's something that's all, you know, we've got away with quite a lot with our songs. You know, been played on top 40 radio with songs that probably shouldn't be.
The thing is, as well, these days, you know, videos aren't as important as they used to be. So really, you know, it's all based on getting popular on the web. So you don't really have to be in the video necessarily. So you can actually make a piece of film, I think, that goes with the music. It's not based upon us doing something in it.
Do you miss those days at all? Was that performance, the video performance part?
No, not at all. What, being in videos?
Just looking back, I mean, you guys have some of the greatest videos of all time. Looking back at some of those.
We've
videos,
also got some of the worst. Yeah.
You know,
As every band has.
any band that's been around for 30 years has got some stuff there that they'd rather not look at again. But you know, I think some of the best videos that we've made actually have been videos that we were in very little. Videos like Enjoy the Silence, for instance, that was, you know, I mean, even though I was in it a lot, it was just a character. It could have been anybody playing that character, to be quite honest. But some of the strongest stuff, I think, visually that goes with music is not... You're limited if you kind of just go with the band lineup, you know, the band thing, band playing, you know, whatever. It's kind of been done, hasn't it? So it's nice to find people that actually are willing to sort of step out and take a bit of a risk with film. And just to complement, like I said, the pop song.
As we've only got 1 day off in the next year, so it's handy as well.
Yeah.
Do you guys let yourselves look back at that stuff, or look back in general? Is it always about moving forward? When you guys come together after maybe not seeing each other for 6 months, do you kind of have a meeting and look back at stuff, or look at old videos, or play old records, make sure you guys do something?
Not really. That's all about moving forward, really. I mean, sometimes you go through an hour when you might do that. Listen to some of the old albums, or watch maybe accidentally, you know, the kids play the old videos and stuff, and you're watching it. But no, it's all about moving forward, really.
It was very interesting during the recording of this album. We found a box of old memorabilia that Dave's ex-wife had collected, and you know, it ended in around 1986 or something, yeah. And it was just amazing what she'd managed to collect. There was like posters from our first ever concert in Holland, first one ever outside the UK. You know, like every review from like every small venue that we played, you know, from day one. Every one of them really terrible. Every review awful.
Yeah, it was great. There was all that, even like she'd cut out like all the things from, you know, the NME, and you know, if we played the Hope and Anchor or the Bridge House in these little gigs in London, you know, the ad where it would have, you know, our name alongside whatever other bands were sort of playing that week, you know, and most of the time we were supporting as well, like somebody else. But yeah, and pictures and stuff, just cuttings, is great. It's quite a find.
I mean, Depeche Mode, we've followed the sort of traditional route to success, you know, playing in small venues and pubs and, you know, small theatres all the way up, you know. Mm-hmm. Nowadays it can be a bit different when people can become stars overnight.
Which I don't know is such a good thing, to be quite honest. Doesn't seem to be working, does it? For most things, like they move too fast.
Do you have advice? Just lastly, advice for young up and comers that maybe emulate what you guys have accomplished over the years, and what they should be doing with their?
Well, there's a lot of bands now, like especially bands like the Killers, and you know, there's stuff that they cite us as being influences. And I think it's not just musically. I think it's in the way that we've made music over the years, and been fortunate enough to be with a label, you know, with Mute, with Daniel Miller, where we've been able to explore, and even though at times we've been under pressure to get that hit single or whatever and stuff at certain times, but you know, generally we've been left alone to our own devices always, and been able to develop, and I don't think many bands get that opportunity nowadays. You know, it's like one album, and if it's not a success, see ya, you know, we can move on to the next band. So, you know, there are some bands I think are sort of, you could see that they get, you know, hopefully they'll stick around and keep making good records.
We've got 1 minute just into the camera, just a message to your fans. We're going to put this online. We're kind of soliciting some fan stuff. You just give them a message for fans, either new fans or fans that have stuck with you.
Who wants to do the message?
I don't mind.
You're good at that.
Go on, do the message. Let you do it.
Hi, I'm Andy Fletcher. I'm from Depeche Mode. This is Dave and Martin, and just really say a big thank you for all our old fans and new fans for going out and buying Sounds of the Universe, and for buying the tickets to see us live. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. You guys are great. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yo, thank you.